I know we're not a political organization. We never will be. And for too long, the church has said, well, that's political and we don't talk about it. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of the issues are not political in nature. They've been dragged into the political arena. But that doesn't mean that Christians have no right or responsibility to speak about them because it's become a political issue. So I think the enemy's goal, because he knows he can't defeat God, is to try to defeat God's purpose for people's lives, to keep them from becoming and fulfilling the purpose that God created them for. And I think the number one way that he's doing that right now is through abortion. Listen, abortion's not a political issue. It's a right and wrong, good and evil issue. When God told Jeremiah, before I formed you in the mother's womb, I knew you and I called you and I set you apart. That means what? That means before Jeremiah entered the world, he had a purpose and a calling on his life specifically put there by God. That means that every life that is formed and knit together in a mother's womb has a purpose and a calling by God and an intention for their life. And every time a child is aborted, there is no chance that they will ever fulfill the purpose that God created them to fulfill on this earth. And the enemy knows this. Look, it's not an old trick. This isn't something new. In the days of Moses, God created Moses to be the leader of his people and bring them out of the free land. There was infanticide when Moses was born. Why? Because the enemy wanted the people of Israel to stay in bondage and captivity. So he had a plan. And the plan was, if I can kill all the baby boys, I can make sure that not one of them grows up to become who they were meant to become and lead the people of God into the freedom that I want them to be led into. When Jesus is born, the enemy knows that the Savior of the world is here, the Messiah, and he thinks this: if I can just kill all the baby boys, I can get him too, and I can make sure that he never grows into and fulfills the purpose and the calling that God fashioned him in his mother's womb for. And it's the same thing today when the enemy looks and says, if I can just get to them before they are born, I can make sure that they never fulfill the purpose and the calling that God knit them together in their mother's womb with.